Colorado versus North Dakota State. So when we talk about it, Don's going to give us the stats guru corner.
That's right. He's been waiting backstage this entire time. Let's bring him on.
So Don got me some interesting stats about both teams. So we'll talk about North Dakota State. And this is the ECG game of the week. FBS schools beaten during the 6-game winning streak that North Dakota State had before it was ended by Arizona. They beat Kansas, Minnesota, Colorado State, Kansas State, Iowa State, and I believe Iowa was ranked like number 11 the time that they upset them. So when you look at that, an FCS school coming up and battling these, I mean, Kansas State, Iowa are not known to be pushover teams by any stretch of the imagination. And now they've got that roster full of FBS coaches. They're ready to go. And this could be one of those things where they can get the streak. I would hate for the streak to get, well, no, I won't hate it, but it'd be funny if the streak got started back against a school like Colorado. The next one up would be Colorado. Colorado was outscored by opponents 418 to 338 in points per game. Interesting. So definitely the second half of their season was worse than the first half of their season, for sure. And they got smacked in the mouth. 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗶𝗀𝗀𝗏, or I think that's how you pronounce his name. 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗶. People talk about Travis Hunter, but can we talk about 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗶 a little bit, please? From Arizona State, that dude punts, throws, runs, catches, special
$1
teams.
million man.
He's crazy.
The true Iron Man athlete.
He is. It's ridiculous.
Put that man in the Olympics.
All right, so let's get over to the predictions. What the squad?
I was going to say we should have saved this one for what the group was, but fair.
Don has Colorado winning. Hayden and Tony have North Dakota State. And the ECG one is North Dakota State.
Bet all the money. Pretty sure there are already bets going on anyways, but still, bet more money.
I'm going to tell you right now, man, there's been a lot of crap that's been talked from Colorado this offseason. It's even worse than it was last season because of this cult following that is happening out there in Colorado. Jimmy Horn, Travis Hunter, Shiloh Sanders, who I think, I'm going to be honest, I've said this once and I'll say it again. I think Shiloh Sanders is one of the best safeties in the country that nobody ever gives his flowers to because he has a brother on the other side called 𝙎𝙤𝙘𝑀 Sanders that everybody gives his love to. But Shiloh is no joke. I think he gets made fun of because of his stint at South Carolina, him and his dad not having the best relationship. But on the other side of this, man, I really think that these guys, or him in particular, are going to be what makes and breaks Colorado in this game. He needs to have a great game for them to be an excellent team moving forward. Now, there is a lot here for them to deal with. Several FBS coaches have come over to the North Dakota State and they said, we're going to smack them in the mouth. I don't know if the pressure of what North Dakota State has is something that Colorado is going to have to deal with. I think I'm not going to highlight a player on North Dakota State. I think them as a unit are just going to come in there and there's not going to be a star player. Their defense is going to play great defense. I think especially their front seven is going to be nasty. I think North Dakota State's offensive line is going to be incredible. And I think they're just going to run the ball down Colorado's throats. And then by the time they get into the red zone, this is what North Dakota State has always done. If you've ever watched them play, they run the ball, and within 20 yards in the red zone, they dink and dunk you with the pass here and there. That gets in there because you don't know what to defend. Again, I want to see a good game. I really do. But if this game comes down to 1 point, I'm going to laugh. Take your L, Colorado, because I got the Bisons coming in here and winning this game. I don't care what the spread says. I don't care what Vegas says. I don't care what your grandma thinks. I don't care what your kids, your mom, your dad, your coworkers. Who gives a hoot? Kennesaw State does. No, give me North Dakota State, man. I think they're going to be an excellent team, not only to watch out for this year. After seeing their little brother, well, they want to call them little brothers, but they've been really, really good. But South Dakota State is there. One guy that I did want to highlight, though, one of the best left tackles that nobody talks about, and 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗶𝗲𝘀𝗀. I think he's going to be really, really good this year for North Dakota State as well. And I just think Colorado's front seven is going to struggle all the way around with this running game. And I think 𝗂𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀 is actually projected to be one of the top 100 NFL draft prospects in 2025 as well. So, so there it is. But I got North Dakota State in the upset here.
That is a wonderful point that you make there, Dante. Just looking at since 2020, Colorado has had 4 players drafted. The last player they had drafted was William Sherman in the 6th round in 2021. So no one drafted since 2021, and they were a 6th round pick. They've had 2 players drafted in the top 3 rounds and only 1 in the top 2. Since 2020, North Dakota State has had 6 players drafted, 4 in the top 2 rounds, and 1 first rounder, infamously Trey Lance. So North Dakota State is producing NFL caliber players at a higher rate than Colorado.
Oh wait, no, you said since 2020. Never mind.
2020, yeah, and that
I was about to say
that doesn't even include Carson Wentz, right?
Yeah, I was about to be like, wait a minute.
Carson Wentz, and then Easton Stick also in 2019, right? Yes. You're not counting some talented players, right? It is. North Dakota State is producing NFL talent. Colorado is not. Let's just get that out of the way. I have North Dakota State winning this. I don't think it's going to be particularly competitive either. North Dakota State is also known for having smash mouth teams year in and year out. They're one of the best rushing teams in all of FCS, right? And Colorado has been subpar when it comes to physicality in the trenches, both on offense and on defense. On defense, right, they were 110th in run defense. Now, they brought in some solid players on that defensive line through the portal. I mean, what position did they not bring someone in through the portal for? But that's besides my point. Colorado, I don't think, did enough to address that defensive line. I know I like some of the additions they did make. It's just not going to be enough for this running game that really is returning 2 key components in dual threat quarterback Cam Miller, who had a very efficient year and he protected the football. And even his backup quarterback, Cole Payton, added 615 yards and 13 touchdowns on the ground. They had 2 quarterbacks with 13 rushing touchdowns. Mm-hmm. They had 4 players rush for over 500 yards last year. And then they had 2 more with 300 yards. This rushing offense is complete, and it is going to blow Colorado. Like they are going to be shell-shocked at how physical. I was about to say pause there, sir. And then the one blow on defense that is going to really hurt is star defensive back COLO 𝗕𝘂𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀. He was ruled out for a significant amount of time just the other day. So they're going to be a little shorthanded there because he was very productive in terms of tackles, and he led the team in interceptions, I think, with 8. So 𝗕𝘂𝘂𝘀𝗀𝘀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀𝗀 is going to be missed. But I think that, if Colorado may be able, I think they'll be able to move the ball against North Dakota State, especially in the passing game. But they're going to have trouble with that pass rush and even running the ball. And North Dakota State, I think they're going to cut through Colorado like butter. So I really don't think that this game is going to be close for too long. I think North Dakota State's going to be clearly the more physical team, and they're going to win by probably like 10 to 17 points is my guess. But I think that 10 points is going to be a clear, like a clear beating. Like Georgia Tech, Florida State was a 3-point game, a last-second field goal, but there was no doubt in anyone's mind that Georgia Tech was the better team that day. Likewise, I think that North Dakota State is clearly going to be the more physical and better team than Colorado, even if the scoreboard isn't like a 3-score game.
Right. Well, Sora, you're the last man on the totem pole here. Will Colorado pull out what we believe would be the upset? Because all of us are so far, except for Don, thinks that Colorado's winning. Are you taking the points?
No. No, I mean, pretty much everything that I had set up was already said. I know Ǩli mentioned all those guys. Oops. I know Ǩli already mentioned all, the guys drafted by NDSU, drafted from North Dakota State. Most recently, which we saw at the Senior Bowl, was Cody Mock in the second round to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. So, I mean, they know how to put in offensive linemen, which, again, I think, goes back to with the guy that you mentioned on the offensive line. And then, again, like Ǩli mentioned, Cam Miller, Cole Payton. I know we talked about the other day, with SMU, the dual quarterbacks kind of killing momentum. They can kind of get away with that here in North Dakota between Cam Miller and Cole Payton. Again, Ǩli mentioned each of them rushed for at least 615 yards and 13 touchdowns. Both of them. That's not even talking about the 19 touchdowns through the air that Miller had and just the 4 interceptions. So, I mean, dude, this is just an explosive quarterback room with a strong offensive line. If you ask Cody Mock, a second-round guy, they know what they're doing with offensive line. They know how to produce talent.
Yep.
And then I know, Ǩli, you mentioned the one guy missing on defense, but you also got to look at defensive end Dylan Hendricks, who led the team in 6.5 sacks a year ago. I mean, right there, that's the defensive lineman that we talk about that could potentially bully Jordan Seaton all game. I know Colorado wants to talk about their new and improved defensive line. Those guys it's yet to be seen. It's a bunch of names right now on a piece of paper. So it's really yet to be seen. We'll see how they can handle with the dual quarterback threat. And again, it's going to depend on, is Travis Hunter on the field or not? Because if he's in primarily at cornerback, then you're potentially looking at a big problem. But if he's going to be subbed out because he's playing both sides of the ball, then you're going to have some drives where Colorado is just at their weakest because they don't want to have Travis Hunter in at just cornerback primarily. And even then, I don't know if passing is going to be much that North Dakota is going to do. Again, I feel like they're probably going to run the ball over. And I agree with Ǩli. I think 10 points, pretty easy 10 points for North Dakota for this win right here.
Well, I think across the board, I know Don picked Colorado, but I know he's probably screaming upset for North Dakota State.
Truthfully and honestly, it's going to have to be Shiloh and Travis Hunter on the defense to keep Colorado in this game.
Facts.
And don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell notification so you're always notified.
All right. Well, the 12th. Oh my god. That's what I'm saying. This one, like, bro, you just gotta just be you, bro. Just be you, bro.